Generation 9 introduced a bunch of new Pokemon and gave some old Pokemon some new and improved evolutions, one of them being the evolution of Bisharp, Kingambit. Generation 9 competitive singles is divided into multiple tiers, with OU being the primary tier of play, in which Kingambit right now is being explored as too much of a quote-unquote problem. Usually when Pokemon are seen as too much of a problem or doing something in the meta that's just unsustainable, etc., they will be banned to Ubers, which is what actually many of the people on Smogon forum are clamoring for about Kingambit, albeit they're just the loud voices and not the entire community. Interestingly enough, I did a poll on the exact subject a while ago, and I got an opposite reaction, which goes to show there are people who want it in the meta besides the ones on the Smogon forum who want to be banned. Anyways, however, what's the real issue with Kingambit, and why are people talking about it like it's a thorn on the side? Well, Kingambit is a very unique Pokemon that was introduced in a very opportune time to which it takes advantage of. This Pokemon has a huge attack stat, fairly decent typing until you see a fighting type move, and is actually slower than its pre-evolution of Bisharp, but that doesn't stop it from being a literal monster on the battlefield. Gambit loves to reward teams losing, and what do I mean by that exactly? It means like I say it, Gambit loves it when your side is on the losing side, because this gives it the exact power boost it needs to take advantage of and destroy the opponent during late game scenarios. And yes, I'm talking about the ability Supreme Overlord. Supreme Overlord is an ability that gives it a permanent attack stat raise to Gambit, meaning you cannot remove the attack raise from like an Intimidate, for example. It's there to stay forever throughout the match. With more Pokemon gone from your side and the fallen count increasing, it becomes painfully more obvious how difficult it can be to take it out in battle. While Dark and Steel theoretically is a decent typing and isn't hard to get rid of, Gambit has a priority in a move called Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is gotta be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful physical priority move, being a 70 base dark type move. And with Supreme Overlord and additional stab typing, this move can clean sweep Pokemon if they're not careful. And especially near the end of battles, where 99% of the time, it's more likely the opponent's Pokemon are worn down significantly, this gives Gambit such a clean opportunity to take out Pokemon quite nicely. While the one problem with Sucker Punch is that though, it requires the opponent to be also attacking, which then creates a huge dilemma for the opponent, as if they do attack, they will most likely take a huge hit and be lucky to live. On the flip side, if they don't attack, they may get a chance to live another day. But then there's also another slight problem on top of that I failed to mention earlier. Gambit has a signature move that doesn't miss in kowtow cleave, and while its power isn't all that special to begin with just on the outside looking in, with Supreme Overlord, this move can be a nightmare to deal with, especially since it has more power than Sucker Punch. So now you're playing a heavy mind game in battle. Do I attack and risk it all? Or do I not attack but allow him to click kowtow cleave, predicting that and essentially wiping out my Pokemon? It's literally a guessing game at this point, and it's just so tricky to work around. More often than not though, opponents will find themselves attacking, because if not, kowtow cleave will OHKO them, so it'll be a missed opportunity either way. You might as well attack to get your best opportunity and best chance. And slap on a Black Glasses, which powers up dark type moves even further for Kingambit, and this Pokemon becomes a huge menace if not played correctly. Now while all this sounds really annoying and hard pressed to take care of, remember when I said it came during an opportune time? Well, that's because it is one of the poster Pokemon for the gimmick of Terastalization in Generation 9, and boy has it taken advantage of it. Terastalization allows for a Pokemon to switch their typing into a type they want to be. For example, let us have Kingambit versus Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant is a very powerful Pokemon with its fighting and fairy stab. While fairy isn't a huge deal breaker, it's that fighting coverage alongside its excellent offenses that scare Kingambit, initially that is. See, now in this situation, Iron Valiant is actually the one in question. It can go for an Aura Sphere or a close combat, whatever it has, and hope that Kingambit doesn't tear the fairy to eliminate all its weaknesses, or click a fighting type move in hopes it doesn't tera. Now obviously at the end of battles, it is easier to predict that tera, but then another question arises which has troubled many players. Before we go on though, if you guys haven't already and you guys are loving this video alongside my other competitive content that is on my channel, be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content just like this, and join the channel and access for exclusive perks. The support goes a long way and I really do appreciate it all. Anyways, back to the video. What is the tera type it's gonna be? Fairy? Flying? fire, ground, etc. It's kind of like Fall Corona-esque when it comes down to predicting the Terastalization typing. Valiant now is in a tough spot, and with that, it will click the fighting type move in sheer safety that will do the most damage, but then it comes to find out that Gambit is actually Tera Fairy and eliminates it with the Iron Head on the following turn. Even if Tera flying, this means Gambit avoids taking neutral from fighting and to actually use a resistance to it, and also offers a key ground immunity as well, as if, for example, if it was paired up against a Pokemon like Dragonite, etc, etc. I can keep going on with the other Terastalization typings as well, but I think you guys can get the gist. I think you guys can also see the problem many players are complaining about. It is such a complex Pokemon to always shape around strategically. Theoretically speaking, it is always logical to click a safe move against Gambit, predicting the Tera. However, the big issue is of its humongous attack stat and that stage of the battle and the offensive pressure it brings alongside it. Those two in combination alongside Sucker Punch predictability, Kowtow Cleave huge power, and or Terastalization potency is huge. The biggest issue of them all is obviously Terastalization and how supremely jacked it is because of that. Its Tera type can be anything it so desires that its own team needs to cover for. And with no Tera preview, which I would argue for that before a Tera ban, more on that in a later video, it is difficult to be comfortably clicking on moves to which it could be easily countered by Gambit's Tera. Wanna go for Great Tusk's EQ? Well, what if the Gambit is Tera flying? Then I'm immune to it, or even a Tera Fairy, so it doesn't take as much damage. It still has decent block and can rapid fire off a Kowtow Cleave, dealing massive amounts of damage. I can keep going on with examples on end, but I think you guys get the gist. So what do I think of this whole situation personally? I actually think right now, Gambit right now should not be banned. It is a huge glue piece in my humble opinion in holding in a lot of teams together, and if people think Terastalization is kind of the underlying problem with this chess piece, then why don't we have a Tera preview or something like that so we know in advance what Tera type it is for Gambit and it's not really a guessing game, cutting down the logistics of a lucky guess. If it still proves to be too much for the overall community thereafter, then we can talk about a ban in a later video. But I think right now it is premature and it's too super valuable and such a great glue piece to any team to rightfully call for a ban. Yes, it might reward losing a bit too much, just like Houndstone Last Respects previously in pre-home, but like I said, I'm more interested in what happens with Tera and how the meta keeps evolving post-home. I would like a bit more time on it in my opinion. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord link in the description down below. We have a wonderful community and we talk about competitive Pokemon, memes, etc. Just basic games. It doesn't have to be competitive, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested, be sure to join the Discord link down below. It's completely free, I promise. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Oops, sorry. I got one more quick announcement, and that's for all of you competitive players or veteran competitive players out there. Are you interested in showcasing your competitive talents and winning cash prizes? Well, join the Burn Tower Discord server, link down below, and be registered in the Burn Tower Battle Royale. The top prize is $1,000 with additional prizes till 4th place. So come on and give it a big shot. It's worth trying for that huge cash prize. Like, I'm serious, this is a really good opportunity to showcase your competitive talent, and this tournament is played in Generation 9, 8, 7, and 6. So if you're really good, be sure to register, link down below. Anyways, I'm gone now. Bye-bye.